But yeah, I think if he enters a transfer portal, if anybody's deficient at quarterback, even your starting quarterback maybe need to be put on notice. You might need to tell him like, if we get Darian Mensah, enter the transfer portal, buddy. Unless you just want to sit behind him one more year, like,
and it's only one portal window starting next year. So
I love that. I love 100%. It. 100%. Darian Mensah, to me, is the best quarterback in college football. He's doing more with less. He's putting that 100%. Team on his back every single week. And the stats that he's putting up without the elite talent being on that team shows you that, Manny Diaz is a good coach, first of all. I don't know how the hell he got Darian Mensah to transfer to Duke unless this guy is just like, I care about my education. Well, that too. Yeah, he was the highest paid or the second highest paid next to Carson Beck, I believe, this offseason in NIL. But is this another Lenore Stellar situation where we're sitting there saying, man, dude, you could be number 1 overall next year. Is Darian Mensah, should he go ahead and enter the transfer portal?
I think we've seen Malik Murphy leave Austin, head to Durham, had a lot of success in Durham. They were able to win a lot of games, and that's why my expectations were high. Even before they got Darian Mensah, even though it was almost like that, my expectations were high just because of my belief in Manny Diaz. I believe he was wrong done at a few of the places that he had been at, and I believe in what he brings to the table. You give him a guy like Darian Mensah, I don't see how he stays because the money that he's going to be offered by teams in the SEC specifically or Big Ten, I think there's no way that he stays. You're not going to be able to keep that type of talent on your roster unless you can find a way to get him more money and he stays put. But he definitely should be looked at as QB1 for the 2027 NFL draft.
I'm going to let you think about your teams on who you should go to, but I'm going to give you 3 that I'm automatically thinking about. So I think, and this would be dangerous wherever he goes. I think the most likely play, I'll give you the most likely, I'm okay if he goes there, and then the most least likely with a good reason why he should go there. I think he should go back to California as the most likely, going to USC if 𝗕𝙁𝗕𝗂𝘂𝘀𝗀 enters the draft. Being under Lincoln Riley would be, if you're gonna keep Mekhi Lemon back there, you're gonna go get Darian Mensah.
That'd be crazy.
He would be a Biletnikoff finalist. Just give him the award at the beginning of the season. Right. That's how I would feel about it.
It's going to him.
Yeah. And with Eli Sanders in the backfield and all those guys, King and all those guys there, man, it could be the Penn State situation where all those kids decide that let's end up staying because we're about to get this beast of a quarterback here. Jaden's going off to go do his thing. Thank you for your services, good sir. But Darian Mensah and 𝗕𝙁 𝗕𝗂𝘂𝘀𝗀, it's a clear difference between the talent of those two.
Absolutely.
The other one that I think about that would be fun, and I think he would fit in with this coach and just what they do down there, Alabama. If they decide that they're not completely bought in with Keelan Russell, which I think that they are, right? Like, I think Ty Simpson's leash was probably the shortest out of any starting quarterback. Think about how long it took Kalen DeBoer to come out and say that he was the starter. I believe it was a true competition down to the final snap with those two. I think they have a lot invested in Keelan, but if they're worried about his future, get him to pull a red shirt next year and have Darian come in, build up his draft stock, win a national championship, and peace out. I think that would be a Cinderella story for them. But I just think he's a good fit wherever he goes. We've seen him go into 2 different systems and ball out. But here's the most unlikely, and it's going to be a couple different factors, but I think this is the best fit for him from the history that we've seen already. And we've talked about this team before that we're telling people, look out. There's a guy named Jeff Brom with his brother Brian Brom down there in Louisville that are building something special. That how many quarterbacks have they made that were just the land of misfit children?
It's the third one.
Jack Plummer got drafted. Tyler Shuck just went in the second round. We're talking about a guy that said, and I like Tyler Shuck. That's my guy. But this is a guy that we weren't talking about being talked about at highly touted before he actually got hurt his first year at Texas Tech. Everybody was talking about him then, but then, that kind of faded off once he got hurt. But think about him and Isaac Brown, and if Colin Lacey wants to stay behind, and their defense is awesome. Like,
man, they got on the outside, man. He is a problem.
Yeah. Oh, you talking about Bell? Yeah, Bell is crazy too. Like that offense and that defense together. This would be like the Foreman of Voltron if that happened. But the thing is, the price tag is going to be very high to keep Jeff and Brian together, because I think that they're a package deal wherever they go.
They are.
The brothers are a package. And now you got all these schools that are open. I could see Auburn calling. I can honestly see Penn State calling them, kicking Andy Kotelnicki out there and bringing Brian in. But I think that's the best situation. That's the most highly unlikely. But Darian Mensah with Louisville would be... me and you were going to sit up here, and I just imagine us doing a pregame or preseason show. Yeah, go ahead and lock Louisville up into the ACC champion and lock them up into probably one of the number one seeds in the college football playoff next year.
Football playoff.
They might go undefeated.
I like everything you said there. I think prior to this season, we all love Jake Retzlaff, kid from BYU, broke the Arnold code. He's now at Tulane. There's a stark disparity between what Darian Mensah was able to achieve there from an offensive perspective and what Jake Retzlaff is achieving from an offensive perspective. So that gives you, and even as well as Maalik Murphy played last year, there's still a stark disparity in what Darian Mensah is doing in 2025 versus what Maalik Murphy did in 2024, where he lands wherever he wants to. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's quarterback? Probably other than Dylan Raiola, because that merged with him in Nebraska. It's rich, it's deep. I think anywhere else in the country he decides to go and they're offering the right amount of money, he will go. But USC would be my personal favorite. I love USC. I've been high on USC. I think I picked them to win in every game that they've played so far this year.
I was high on them this year too.
So that would be a match made in heaven. And what 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗶𝗶𝗀𝗀 is doing in that system and the balance, that's what I didn't expect. They have the ability to run a ball really well. And you give a kid like Darian Mensah that, he'll lead in almost every statistical passing category next year. There's no way they keep him in Duke unless the money is like that. And and he's one of the spokespersons for who do you want in the portal? We'll go get him for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just point him out.
Unless he just wanted to get that higher education and he maybe one of his favorite schools or something. I don't know. I've never personally spoken to Darian Mensah to even find this information out. But if I could get him on the show just to ask that, like, what was not only was outside of the money, because it's got to be a motivation outside of the money for you to go.
Right.
Yeah. Is it just your family and you are just so high on education that you felt like that was the most important thing? And then on top of that, being with Manny Diaz, what was the combination of things for you to have chosen Duke out of every single school? Because it was kind of a shocker to all of us. Like, yeah, Tulane is a nice stepping stone from anybody to be at. And even if he decided to stay one more year with Tulane, I think in the football world, even with a Manny Diaz being at Duke, I still think Tulane is much more, a highly sought out place to be for a football player than it would be at Duke at this point. So
I agree.
But yeah, I think if he enters a transfer portal, if anybody's deficient at quarterback, even your starting quarterback maybe need to be put on notice. You might need to tell him, like, if we get Darian Mensah, enter the transfer portal, buddy. Unless you just want to sit behind him one more year.
and it's only one portal window starting next year. So
I love that. I love it.
100%.
Give me the December to January portal window all day versus the spring, because the spring portal screws everybody up. Except if you're Joey Aguilar. I understand Joey Aguilar doing it.
Yeah, I do 100%. Like, the notes that I take, like, I create sheets, not only for me, Moon likes to use them as well, just of detailed information. And that's why, like, the first few days of the portal, I'll see what Nino is posting on our Twitter. Other than that, I'm like, bro, I'm just going to wait. Like, let's see where everybody ends up. And then I'll start updating some of the sheets that I keep. But it's frustrating.
Yeah, I hit 247 Sports up and I'll just watch it on there and just see who's available. And then I start predicting, like, this guy might go there. Even the guys that haven't even entered a transfer portal, like one of the best pulls of all time that I did was Will Howard had no intention of entering the transfer portal. And I was like, man, Ohio State needs a quarterback. He seems like an Ohio State quarterback.
You
If he
called
goes there, yeah, if you go back, I called on the video. I said, if he goes there, they're probably going to win the national championship. And they did. Way before he even entered the portal.
That's crazy.
I was like, I pulled out a crazy pull.
Yeah, that's one of the ones you got to remind people already so often, man.
Oh, yeah.
I had it up. That's dope.
Because you know how people say, oh, you're wrong about this. Well, you ain't getting predictions like that, buddy. Or just like the one the other year where I said Nick Saban's going to lose to two of his former assistants for the first time. Jimbo beat him at Texas A&M, and then it was oh my God, who was it?
Was it Kirby?
Yeah, it was Kirby. In the same year, and people are like, that's going to be impossible. Nobody can see that coming. They're not even going to match up that way. I was like, he's going to lose to both of those guys, and he ended up losing. Yeah. I can hang those two up as my football analyst career. Yeah,
those should be plaques on your wall, brother.
and that's on video. It's on video. But yeah, the last one that I'll throw out there is kind of like a Hail Mary because I do think he's the best quarterback in the country. And I said that at the halfway point of the season, and I still look at him playing, and I'm like, there's nobody better than this kid. Like, as far as draft prospects, Ty Simpson to me is number one. But as far as prospects right now in college, if you had to rank them, he's number one out of everybody until proven otherwise. And I think it's like a clear gap to me. And now people are starting to see it. You throw the Bear Bachmeyers in there and all that, and it's like, yeah, he's winning games, but like that BYU team is awesome.
He's not asked to do a lot. Now he makes his plays every now, but he's not asked to do what some of these other guys got to do. Like Sawyer Robertson, I play offense and defense for that damn team.
Yeah. So there's a coach out there that's been criticized a lot for a lot of different things, and he actually has been criticized a lot this year for the expectations in the ACC just completely dropping off the map and having a quarterback that was supposed to be a Heisman favorite, and we sat up here and said that he was going to be our Heisman favorite. And that's Dabo Swinney. Yeah. Did Dabo Swinney finally make a swing if Darian Mensah decides to enter the transfer portal to replace 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀 with Darian Mensah?
If he's going to stay at Clemson, he'll be given some ground rules. Hey, if you plan on staying here, you either use the portal or else. I think we're going to start to get a lot more or else situations because that's where we're at in this era of college football. Win or else. You utilize a portal or else. Like, I think that's the only way to keep Dabo. And I'm not sure he survives just because they're going to be, you can look at the 2023 example when you all was able to get the kid Keon Coleman from East Lansing via the portal, and they needed help, dire need of help at the wide receiver position, and they didn't go get him. So yeah, I think it's use the portal or else. Those will be the conversations.
That's why I brought it up, and the reason why this fits probably better than all of them, like all the ones that I mentioned, even though I love the Louisville thing, he reminds me the most of Deshaun Watson out of every quarterback in college right now.
That's a great pull.
And remember what he did with Taj Boyd, who was kind of like that too, and Deshaun Watson. 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝘀𝗀𝘀 has those qualities to him. He's the prototypical Dabo type quarterback that he likes. Like, be able to be athletic. I'm not going to limit you in your athleticism, but at some point in time, we got to be able to launch that thing down the field and look like a quarterback too. And that's the prototypical Dabo Swinney quarterback that he goes out there and finds. There's no better quarterback in the country that fits that mold more than Darian Mensah right now. And I agree with you. I think there's a serious conversation that gets had this offseason. Like, I don't care, Dabo. You got a lot of talent on this team, especially at the wide receiver position. Those guys are going to enter the transfer portal after Cade leaves. The only way to keep them is to go find a good quarterback.
Yep.
Because those kids are sophomores. They're true sophomores right now. And that Antonio Williams is the only one. He's a senior. He's gone.
Yep.
But the rest of them, how are you going to keep all of them?
Yep.
How are you going to keep all? Yeah. What's his name? Tyler and all those guys. Like, Yeah, I think that would be the best pull that he can make right there. So, hey man, sorry not to glaze on Darian Mensah, man. I love that kid. I think he's
Nah,
goated.
yeah,
He's
he's real
goated
good.
right now.